It's the year of the ODI World Cup. But would this be the last year that we see the ODI format? Evolution and revolution are part of any growth process. The game of cricket is no exception to that. And the MCC, who are the custodians of the laws of the game, have come out with a set of recommendations. One of them is to play the ODIs only in the year leading up to a World Cup. So are we seeing the last of the ODI series? That's what we're going to discuss in this live. Hello and welcome to WION Sports Extra. I am Nikhil Mathur and I'm joined by my sports writer Digvij Singh Deo and by my colleague Vidur Kathuria.
Hi.
Test, the oldest, purest format. T20 is the new format which apparently the youths are very much involved with. ODI is the format which doesn't fall in either of those category. Are we seeing the last of those?
I think it makes sense, the suggestion. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we grew up on ODI cricket. I remember bunking school to watch an ODI game. Are we interested by the ODI format? There's been so much. I mean, just look at the kind of changes to the ODI format to make it engaging, like 15 overs power play, then it became 10 overs, then you had 10 overs at the back. All of that happened. Scores went all over the place. But outside of a marquee event, like say the Champions Trophy which is coming back, or the ODI World Cup, where is the interest? Do you watch? Honestly, I'm asking you a question. Do you watch an ODI game? No, I don't remember the last time I saw a full ODI game. Yeah. Okay, we see snatches.
And we work in sport.
Yeah, we work in sport. So, okay, we have other things to look at.
Yeah.
But when's the last time? I think today cricket has to adapt to, say, the move from a television screen to a mobile screen. Why do you think everyone, the TV rights for both the IPL and World Cup are lesser than the digital stream? Okay, can I watch a full cricket match, an ODI game, starting at, say, India time, 9 a.m. till 5:30 on my phone? No. So I think you have to adapt. They're not doing away with the format. Obviously, the writer here is that this can only come into play post 2027.
The next cycle start, yeah.
But I think it's a decent concept because, I mean, the bilateral series, okay, Test cricket is still engaging. And yes, keep having your ODI for the associate teams and all of that. But I agree with it. I said the ODI as a format hasn't moved forward in the last, say, 10 years, especially after T20. After T20.
Yeah.
Vidur, do you agree with those recommendations?
I actually do. ODI is clearly the number 3 format as of now. If you look at all stakeholders of the game, the players, the audience, even now the custodians of the laws of the game, they are also recommending it. So it is clearly number 3 on everyone's agenda. You see the best players in the game. Ben Stokes, does he play ODIs? No, he doesn't. And you look at Test cricket. Test cricket has an established audience, as we see in the Ashes. Exactly. And players want to play it. The T20 is, taking the game global. We see Major League Cricket is going to start on Thursday. And what is that? The format is T20. People aren't really excited by ODIs anymore. And I think it's time to look beyond that and look at cricket as a global sport. Some people will be opposed to it, but that is always the case. I wasn't alive at the time when ODIs actually started. This was what, 60s or 70s?
74.
And I'm sure there must have been a lot of opposition to that. But then it became
still played like a test match. It was 60 overs.
60 overs, yeah.
You had your breaks. It gradually evolved. Yeah. I think 87 World Cup is when it evolved in India. It became a 50 over game. Or it was a 60 over game.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, and credit where credit is due, ODI cricket has, led to growth of the game. Yeah. Colored clothing, which was a big deal when it started. So all that has led to the growth of the game, but it's time to look beyond that.
We need to look. People were fed up with Test cricket, okay?
Yeah.
It has its audience because 5 days.
Yeah.
Back then it was 6 days, it was a rest day.
Yeah.
So it came down to the one-day format, which became more engaging. But now you have a much shorter format, which, if worked correctly, if players stick to their allotted times, it's a 3-hour game, which is the average time of a movie. Today you are competing for eyeballs. Today it's not just about are you a fan of cricket, because there are other sports. A football game, the World Cup football, I mean, in and out, 90 minutes, maximum 120.
Well, 2 hours
taken
max,
a penalty shootout, 2.5 hours, pure drama. You are competing with that. Hockey game, 60 minutes. Thrilling matches at the Hockey World Cup,
Yeah.
right? Tennis, I mean, some matches can get over quickly. A Grand Slam can go on for 3 or 4 hours. What are you competing? Badminton,
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Max.
Max.
Yeah.
Does the audience today have the time to watch ODI cricket? I doubt
Entire
it.
day. It's an entire day. It's what 7.5, 8 hours if you
Yeah.
start till the end of the match, and it's impossible to follow that. Test cricket is different, of course. It's session. It's part of a 5-day sport, which is extremely engaging. And Test cricket now, because of the World Test Championship cycle and the final, there is more relevance to it, which has
Mostly
gone.
3 days now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which has sort of gone out of ODIs. I think people are sort of disillusioned by it. The fans
Let
as well.
me ask you a question now.
Yeah.
We remember the last World Cup. Okay, and we are heading into the next one. Do you remember any game apart from that? Last 4 years?
2019 ODI World Cup. Well, of course, the final.
The final
No,
was.
after that.
Yeah.
In the
The
yeah,
bilateral
years.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember more of Test cricket and T20s. I don't remember much of even India-Australia series. I mean, I don't
Nothing
remember.
stands out.
Yeah.
We went to Australia. I remember Hardik got, but it's vague.
Wake.
There was a
Yeah.
time when that dominated our collective
Yeah, of
mind
course.
space. It's not anymore. And I think we need to go back to a discussion we had a couple of months ago. I think cricket is now evolving into this 24/7 around the year global sport, not just the IPL, but you have T20 leagues coming
Yeah.
up. It's going the football way, where you're now going to have very soon guaranteed windows for international cricket.
And also,
this is what the English Cricket Board said,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And MCC is saying the same thing.
yeah. And also the upcoming generation. I mean, they have seen T20 cricket. Of course, we have seen ODI World Cup. We still have those memories of those ODI World Cup and those series. But the upcoming generation, they want action on every ball.
Yeah.
And sadly, with ODI cricket, leave out the power play, the first 10 and the last. It's pretty mundane in the middle overs.
It's not exciting.
It's not exciting anymore. Yeah.
So see, you will have a situation where in a World Cup people will be invested.
Of course.
Even in football.
Yeah.
Even a game between say Korea and Algeria people will watch.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of it. That's what the ODI World Cup is. But I think the format as a whole, there's been no innovation.
Yeah.
It's so heavily loaded in favor of the batters that there's no contest. I mean, look at Ashes. The reason why Test cricket is fun to watch is because they're playing it T20 style. They're not even playing it one-day style.
Yeah.
See, T20, now you have T10. That's the way forward. You want to get to the Olympics, T10. I'm not sure T20, they still have time. So
Yeah.
for cricket to grow, it's not a bad option.
Interesting.
Any questions?
We have some comments, I think.
But people are asking, is it the end of the road for ODIs? The other questions. We have the poll result, but not many comments and questions
What do you
yet.
think? What do you think? See,
Yeah.
there's also the Gulf which is there today. There's no India-Pakistan happening. There's no England-Australia happening. I mean, the Gulf is also widening.
Yeah.
And also the rise of the franchise T20 league cricket, because they want to put their league in a calendar, and there's only much that ICC can fit in a particular year. So that also leaves no time for ODIs, and that has also played a big part.
And also,
And
you got
also-
to play to the, what do you call it? Horses for courses. Remember?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago when you had the T20 World Cup, the Asia Cup became a T20 tournament.
Yeah.
They say it's a World Cup,
Exactly.
ODI,
It
so it's an
became,
ODI.
yeah.
So you have to adapt. I think that concept works. Then sort of you have Test cricket, you have T20, you play a lot of it, and then you have this 1 year where the attention is solely on that.
Yeah.
That may in fact help save ODI cricket. That's what I think.
And I think because it's number 3 on the priority list for all players, you
It's
won't
number
get
3 out of 3.
Yeah, it's number 3 out of 3.
Let's
And
put that.
and you won't get to see high quality international cricket. Because obviously Virat Kohli has said multiple times that, he needs to manage his workload, etc. And that's what all countries are thinking about. And since it's number 3 out of 3, you won't get to see high quality. You would see B teams or C teams being, especially with someone like India who can put out 3-4 teams. You won't see like high quality international cricket in ODIs, apart from a World Cup year where obviously your best players will play, which we will see this year. But yeah, I think what the MCC has recommended makes a lot of sense, and credit to them, they are also looking forward
Yeah.
to the growth of the game.
And exactly. And the panel is made by former cricketer like Saurav Ganguly is part of that.
Ganguly is
Straws,
there, Sangakkara is
yeah.
there, big names. Julan is there, Julan Goswami.
Yeah. So I think these recommendations in all probability will be will come into force probably from the
I'm
next
not
cycle.
sure, because see, it's still a money spinning game. And the BCCI could block it.
Yeah.
Saying that, our domestic rights are worth so much. How much? 5 billion?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Audience. But ultimately, the audience decides. There's a reason why the money is going to the IPL. The streaming on the IPL tells you why it's so big.
Yeah.
I mean, today, we're going to build up on our show today to the Major League Cricket. Cricket's trying to enter a market which is worth $80 billion.
8 hours in a stadium with their families when they want a day out? No, as simple as that.
And let's look at why Live Golf came in. A proper round of golf, so Tiger's playing, Rory's playing. It's 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
But they're playing, when you don't know, either playing morning or they're playing evening, right? What did Live Golf do? They put everyone on the goddamn course at the same time. Then you get to see everyone playing same conditions.
Yeah.
3.5, 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Yes, but everyone playing. You want to give the viewer a bang for his or her buck. ODI cricket is not giving you that bang for your buck.
And
Except in a World Cup year.
Yeah.
And as you said, you have to innovate with the times. And ODI cricket, in the format that it is there right now, there's not even that much room for innovation
Yeah,
in the
they
50
tried
over
a
game
lot.
itself.
They
Have tried, and
but
it's not really
hasn't-
worked out.
Yeah.
There is a lot of room for innovation in, say, T20 or shorter formats, but not with ODI cricket.
Impact player this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even they tried it in the ODI, I think substitute fielder or something, but it didn't work. The fielding restrictions, the 5 over power play, you can decide the time of power play, but nothing has worked.
But then listen, everyone went for that last 5 overs.
Yeah.
So
So,
let's look at
let's see what our audience feels.
This is interesting, actually. Is it time to phase out ODI cricket? Yes, 40%, and no, 59, almost 60%. Interesting.
Very interesting.
So people still want to see. I think people want to see India as ODI world champions again.
And it's a World Cup year, so people are like, how are you talking about phasing out ODIs? It's
But I
a
think-
World Cup year.
I think it definitely should trigger a conversation within the cricketing community, and that's our job. So we've done that.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll tell you what our other job is. It's about putting out a show. We told you what's on the show. There's some tennis action to discuss. So you can tell us what's
Yeah.
big story.
But Iga Swiatek was never the favorite on grass. We will but I think this is the best performance ever
Yeah,
on the
first
grass.
quarterfinal.
First quarterfinal.
But I think she's got the game. I think she'll
Yeah.
gradually, you'll see Iga on grass in a couple of years adapting very well. I think it will take time, but there were signs to this tournament that she
Yeah.
was at St. Andrews. And they're going to invest $1 billion plus into the PGA Tour. By the way, the PGA Tour is saying we would have gone bust if we had not done this deal. And also there is no deal. It's just a standstill agreement
Yeah.
to end litigation. And they're trying to work it out. Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy to play 10 live events and be given live teams. Clearly rejected.
Yeah.
PGA Tour wanted Greg Norman out. Rejected. So I'm not sure our deal is close.
Yeah.
Take time. And of course, Lionel Messi has landed in the United States. The eagle has landed, if you want to say that.
It is American dream.
Yes.
Messi
He
is
is
the
there,
American dream
and
is on.
we are set for a grand unveiling on Sunday in South Florida.
In the
And-
beach, probably? Miami
Uh,
Beach.
Well, everyone loves Miami Beach, but yes. And what else do we have?
Formula One. Someone is making a
Yeah,
return.
Daniel Ricciardo. And listen, I'm surprised. That's the pressure's on Sergio Perez now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can take that
Dan
seat
Ricciardo
from
coming
Red
back
Bull.
to Alpha Tauri, replacing Nick De Vries, who's not had a good run, but guess who's not having a good run?
Checo.
Checo Perez.
Checo Perez.
Fan favorite Daniel Ricciardo. Everyone loves him.
Yeah. So that and much more on our show at 6:30 p.m. IST. Thanks for tuning in.